Alright, good morning team. Back on another mission of course. That did not line up as much as I thought it would. Yeah, got a bit of a rig for this one. So we've got the bike, frame bag, shoes in the back, and then we've also got this bad boy. Brand new tramping pack.
There you go.
Fresh pack.
Look at how dynamic he is with this new new Deuter pack.
just breaking it in. Plan is to go up the Coppermine trail, so I'm going to ride from home, which is actually pretty awesome. Ride from home, up the Coppermine, stash the bike at the saddle, walk down to Rocks Hut, through the Middy Creek Hut on the Polaris River, and then up a route to Mount Fell, which is another one that yes I have been to before, but not for the challenge. So we're going back there. Doing a very different way to get there than I have before. Yeah, I think we're in for a pretty solid day and then another solid day tomorrow to get home. So yeah, I think we should get started. It was a bit of a late night last night because I actually went to my first ever music gig. Me and Dad went to see the Bats. They were probably my favourite New Zealand band. If you know them, you know them. From the 80s and 90s. But yeah, that was really cool. But I hadn't actually packed before going, so I was packing all my stuff until about 12:30 this morning. So yeah, not running off too much sleep, but that could work in my favour for getting a good sleep at the hut tonight, so fingers crossed. I really love the Coppermine Trail. It's such an easy way to get into the back country like really quickly, and it's running really nicely at the moment as well. So here's a nice sobering perspective on what we're actually doing today. I'm about to get off the bike. The Coppermine Saddle is like just here, and one of those two is Mount Fell. I forget which one of those left or right, but that's Mount Richmond, and yeah, one of those two is Fell. And we're going actually over the other side of it down to the hut tonight. Holy crap, this is going to be hard work. Well, yeah, I should probably get into it then. Also a slightly dumb moment for myself, but I managed to fall over before because I couldn't get on my clips properly and my bag was so heavy. And yeah, got myself a little cut. It's definitely not as bad as it looks there, but yeah, I don't actually have any first aid on me, which is very dumb. So yeah, don't do that if you're doing stuff like this. I'll definitely be sure to bring stuff next time, but I'll get it cleaned up and it should be fine. Whew. There's a hiding spot so good, I don't even know if I'll be able to find it again. It's definitely not getting stolen. Alright, onwards. You can see the spur I'm going to be going up to get up to Mount Fell. It's just one big snake right to the top. By the sound of it, it's an unmaintained route. I think it's, yeah, probably not going to be the easiest thing to follow, I'm kind of getting the impression of. I think it's going to have been a fair bit of climbing by the time we get up there as well, because I'm pretty much, well, I'm dropping back down to the Polaris River now after having, you know, climbed all out the Coppermine. So I don't even really get to use that elevation that I gained doing that. Alright, first of 3 huts we'll be seeing today. Rocks Hut. Have been here before, twice. First time was a long time ago on a school tramping trip where we took like 13 hours to get between the Hackett and here somehow. And then the second time was a biking trip when I did came out the Coppermine, came down here and went through all the way to out to Hackett and then back over into Richmond. It took me like 10 hours with my mate. Lots of hiker bike. Wouldn't really recommend that one unless you really want an adventure. My main memory from this hut actually is on that tramping trip wasn't actually a school one, it was like a school holidays one. And one of the instructors had introduced us, sort of going around the circle introducing ourselves, and the instructor had introduced one of the guys as sort of having done a few of these before, so it sounded like he knew what he was doing, had his tramping boots on at the Whenua car park and everything, you know. And then on this first day to Rockside he crapped himself. So yeah, good times. Solid descent. That's going to be a bit of a job to get back up tomorrow. But we've come to a very cool bridge. So yeah, let's do that. Whew. Oh man, that's very cool. Wow. This is sick. Oh, I'm gonna get you. Come here, boy. Ah, he lives to fight another day. From the great hunter-gatherer. Middy Creek Cut, here we go. Just met a really nice couple doing the TA and Middy hut there. Had a yarn to them, had some food, and yeah, now we're pretty much at the bottom of the Mount Fell route. On the sign there, just up there, it says 9 hours, 12 k's, 9 hours. So I'm really hoping it's not quite that long. But yeah, I was told to bring quite a lot of water for this because I don't think there's an awful lot up there. Because you're basically on a spur the whole way up. So yeah, I'm filling up 3 litres worth of water. Oh, this is going to be a tough one, I can already tell. Oh my god, this track did not muck around with getting steep quickly. Oh. Whoa. Tell you what, mate, there's some bloody steep terrain. Literally on all fours up this section. I think I'm climbing up to a peak called Conical Knob, and yeah, she's pretty vertical, mate. Oy. Bruh. Just Achilles ripping stuff. Alright, we're at Conical Knob. Before, when I was trying to point out Mount Fell, I couldn't remember which one was which. It's the further one, or closest one to Mount Richmond. So I can see the other one, the unnamed peak, is kind of like just over here. So I'll basically be descending off this to the saddle and then going up that. And says on the map there's a chain ladder up there, so, and I'm kind of, just from what I can see of it, I can sort of see why, because it looks pretty damn steep, or you know, it looks like a rock cliff basically. So I'm interested to see what that entails. Hopefully nothing crazily sketchy. Just came across this. I guess it's meant to be like a water cache, whatever you want to call it. Nothing in there at the moment, but looks like it was, I assume it's put in by the Nelson Tramping Club. I would assume that's what NTC stands for. It's quite cool. Sort of just in the middle of nowhere, because yeah, there is bugger all water up here. Yeah, I shall not be leaving any in there, unfortunately, because I need one. Pretty cool concept. I pity the poor bugger that had to carry that metal box up here though. Starting to get reasonably serious now. We're coming right up to the bottom of the big face I could see earlier. Yeah. Holy shoot. Dun Mountain is way over that one there, which is essentially where I've come from, yeah, after the bike. Definitely wouldn't be anywhere near as hard if you didn't have to drop all the way down to the Pelorus and then all the way back up this thing. Okay, let's carry on. Wouldn't want to go off there. Well, that was pretty nasty. Can't say I'm really the biggest fan of heights there. Anyway, that's all done. I'll have to go back down it tomorrow, of course, but that's a problem for then. Here's another little water cache on top of this, the unnamed peak next to Mount Fell. That's pretty cool, just collects a bit of rainwater in the top and then you can just tilt it over and pour it out. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, that's Mount Fell. Yeah, not there just yet. Oh, what a perfect day, yeah, to think about myself. Well, I feel like that was an extremely well-earned ticking off of one of the points. Here we are. Yeah, Mount Fell. Woo! Yeah, buddy. I'm gonna have a snack, and then we're gonna descend down to the saddle between here and Johnson's Peak, and down to the hut. Mount Fell hut. I say I'm pretty happy to see that. That was a big day. Hopefully a nice quiet night. Don't think I'll have any trouble sleeping tonight. So some quick stats. 18.5 k's walk, on foot. 2,000, just over 2,000 meters on foot. Plus probably 700, I would imagine, for the Coppermine on the bike. The walk from Middy, which was meant to take 9 hours, I did in 4.5. But yeah, take that with a grain of salt. I was kind of chugging along. Total time since I left home has been 9.5 hours. So she's been a pretty good old day. Combo. I had a pretty good sleep, to be honest. I was pretty shagged, so it really helped. It's super cold this morning. I mean, it's not frosty or anything like that, but considering it's still technically summer, it's yeah, it's definitely very cold. And I think it might be a little bit windy up on the tops because it's actually really sheltered here and there's still a bit of wind. Get some food on, go if you get away somewhat early. Not quite the pristine conditions of yesterday. It's looking very foggy up Mount Fell where we're going. So yeah, might not be the most pleasant the first sort of hour or two until we start descending down that spur again off the other peak. That's all good. The one thing I did forget, well I didn't actually forget it, I just chose not to take it with my gloves. I wish I had brought them now. Hands are a little bit nippy. If it gets real bad, I'll just put my spare socks on my hands. But anyway, into the cloud we go. Worth a treat. Alright, made it back down to the Pelorus and thought it'd be very rude on a day like today, because it has gotten a lot nicer since the last few shots, to not go for a swim in such a nice looking river. So I'm getting in. Classic New Zealand river, very fresh even on a very hot day. God, that feels good. Painstakingly made my way up from the Pelorus to Rocks Hut, and then from Rocks to Dun, and then from Dun Saddle over to Coppermine Saddle. Found the bike. I'm feeling pretty buggered, so we're going to load up and hit the trails down and get home. God, I'm looking forward to getting on the bike. So much for an easy ride home. Headwind. So I completely forgot to film an ending for this video. I was just so cooked when I got home. I think I just went straight to sleep, to be honest. It's like a couple of weeks later now, but yeah, we made it home. I think in total the 2 days ended up being just about 5,000 meters of climbing. So yeah, overall like bike and walk. So yeah, it was a pretty solid weekend. And that's going to do it for this telescope episode, because if I add another one, it's just going to be a really long video, so we'll leave it here. But yeah, I would say we're nearing the end game for this. I think there are 5 more missions to do, something like that. So hopefully another one coming up very soon. But yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and go have some adventures, that's all I can say.